Chief will probably do it.
Yeah, we probably would.
Chief Hauser.
Let's go.
What I do, Mike? Never mind.
Byron already signed us in. Let's go.
Sign in the same.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let the record show it is 6:03 on October 12th, and the Durant City Council meeting is now called to order. Would everyone please stand, and James Dalton will give our invocation.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day, the breath of life you give us and the health you give us. Lord, we thank you for where we live, Father. We thank you for the people that live here, that we live among. Father, we pray that we do your business the right way for the city. Lord, give us wisdom and give us stability as we go through these processes. Lord, we just pray for all those who are sick and have lost loved ones. We lift them up to you. Pray that you comfort them, Father. Lord, we just thank you again for a free country where we live, where we can assemble. Be with us as we go through these proceedings. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing while Councilman Brittingham leads the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Brittingham.
Here.
Councilmember Miller.
Here.
Councilmember Morris.
Here.
Vice Mayor Shear.
Here.
Mayor Groby.
Here. Let the record show we're all here. Next on our agenda, we have presentations. Number one is presentations of Employee Service Awards for the third quarter, and I think we have quite a few of them. So I guess we're going to try to do as we usually do, and I'll go down front and present these awards. So if y'all all want to follow suit. I'm scared for Mike to hold the microphone. We have a combined total of 75 years of dedicated service to the city of Durant. 5-year pins are Cannon Jackson Fire Department, $50 certificate and a pin. Is Cannon here? Would you like to come up with your family? Come on up. Oh, cute little girl. Thank you. Thank you. turn around and get a good picture. Thank y'all so much. Okay, next we have Jacob Migley, Fire Department, $50, certificate and a pen. Well, hi there, how are you? Oh, you forgot your wife. Thank you. Our 10-year pen, Tyler Davis with the fire department, it's $100. And Tyler he's not here this evening. Is there someone that can accept this for him? Give that to your wife, she'll forgive you. Okay, 15-year pens. Phyllis Montgomery, Police Department Administration, $150, certificate and pen. Congratulations, Phyllis. Congratulations. $20 years. Our 20-year pens, Byron Hopkins in IT, $200, a plaque and a certificate and a pen. Byron, are you hiding? And Mike Morris told him he started here. Mike Morris told him he started here before there were computers. Get your picture, man. Okay, last but not least, Daniel Woods, Solid Waste Collection, 20 years, $200 plaque, certificate, and pen. He brought his wife. Thank y'all. Should I wait till we do that, or? Okay. Get that out of the way. Bear with us just a second. Oops. Thank you, Byron. Okay, next on the agenda, citizen comments. We have no citizen comments at this time, so we will move to order of business. Consent items on our order of business, we have number A through D. We can either accept them all as one vote, or we can pull them out separate and vote. Does anyone wish to pull anything out of consent items? If not, is there any discussion, or can we call for the vote? A motion.
I'll motion we approve consent items.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Would the clerk record the vote?
Okay, I'm going to call your vote. Everyone else is going to put their votes in. Is that correct, Barbara?
Yes, I think so.
Everyone else is voting electronically?
Yes, yes, everybody will vote electronically except for the mayor.
Okay. And Mayor Groby, how do you vote?
Yes. Okay, under number 3, information items. These are reports from the different departments. If any of the members wish to ask any questions or have any discussion on them at this time, please feel free to do so. If not, we'll move on to number 4, administration. Number A, 4A, discussion, consideration, and possible action on remodeling of the main entrance of City Hall to make it ADA compliant. And I believe Shane's gonna talk to us about that.
I think you have in your packet some of the images and the plans that we've shown. So the city manager asked us to look at the front entrance of City Hall to make the Evergreen Street side ADA compliant so that you could have one entrance and exit for the public into the building. So we've taken that and created a accessible ramp, and giving the symmetry of the building, we've kind of mirrored that on both sides, but only putting a ramp on the west side and then creating a screen wall on the east side to help hide these air conditioning units that are currently out in front of the property. You've got about a 32-inch elevation change, so that's going to give us about 32 feet of ramp that we have to build. So if there's any questions, be glad to answer. And this has not gone into any sort of construction document phase. This is just an initial design concept for you guys to look at and approve. So we haven't gone through any sort of construction documents on this.
Is there any discussion?
I have a question. I don't know if it's necessarily for you, Shane, or not. It's probably the city manager. Is something wrong with your other ramps as far as compliance with ADA?
No, sir.
Okay. And I guess so, this next question is, what is the driving factor why we're looking at doing it in front of City Hall?
The idea was security internal. When those ramps are open, the doors are open during court and council meetings, then the rest of the building is accessible. So even up to the FBI and the probation and parole. So that's the idea.
I'm not too concerned about them. I don't think you're going to get in their offices. But is there a security risk that we're aware of that would prompt the need to do this?
Just potential. So
Anybody else?
Would this be paid for through the streetscape program, or is this something?
no, sir, this is not part of streetscape.
I want to make sure I understand the diagram. Is that a one ramp on the west side and the east side is just a facade over the air conditioners?
That's correct.
Okay. How wide is that ramp approximately?
That is 44 inches wide.
I would just like to say that I would like for us maybe just to not make any vote on this tonight, have a chance to look it over. I don't think everyone's really looked at it. I told John I felt like it needed a woman's touch. And he thought I meant flowers, which I didn't. The way I had seen it, which was probably not right, you know, we're moving Dixon Durant's statue here, and I thought that was Dixon Durant down in the corner. And if that was Dixon Durant, all you could see if you drove by is the top of his head, which wouldn't be too honorary to me.
That is correct. And there was some discussion about moving the Dixon Durant statue to the elevated porch area as you come out of the city hall. So the steps have moved closer to evergreen in this design. So you've got a wider porch or patio outside of the front doors of City Hall. Now, I did not put the statue in any of these renderings, but there was some discussion about moving him to one side or the other of that platform.
My dream was to see him out in front where he could be seen by people driving by, not up on the ramp. That was what I envisioned. But there's 4 others that have to decide.
Well, we can definitely take some of that into consideration.
I have another question, Shane. I know this is just a rendering, but with it set up the way it is, and obviously in this drawing, it doesn't reflect the parking for handicap if this is moved to the front, so, or would something happen
Yeah,
with
so
that curb?
yes, I do have an answer for that. So the final phase of the streetscape plan calls for handicap parking on Evergreen. It calls for it on the west end of City Hall, if I remember correctly, on Evergreen, but on the west side. And in this proposal, we would just propose to move those spots, it proposes it to be on the east side. We would propose to move those spots to the west side to be in front of this ramp, and then modify the sidewalk with the handicap accessibility there.
Thank you.
Sure.
You're showing some detail above the windows on either side of the door, and then on the second level, looks like, I mean, right now it's just brick, is it? Now it looks like you've got like I don't know what the correct term would.
Are you talking about on the existing building?
Yeah, on the drawing shows I think it looks pretty good. It adds a little
You talking about
texture.
Yeah,
to
I
it.
You
think
talking about
those
the left
are-
and right of the door?
Yeah,
above the windows?
above the windows to the left and right of the main door.
Yeah, those are existing,
Sorry.
actually.
They're there now?
Yeah.
I didn't go out and look at it.
Yeah, there's two precast pillars set in the brickwork on either side of the
Okay.
entrance now. So,
Right. Is it that way on the second level too? Or is it
I'm not sure if I'm understanding what you're asking.
Can we see a front
I
view?
don't have any control, so I don't know.
All right,
I think Byron can probably,
all right.
Byron, can you
Scroll
flip
us
it
to
to the
another-
front?
I-
Like if we're standing right in front of it?
I think it adds to makes it look more like a major entrance. I think it adds.
Don't look like a
adds to
prison,
the
does
building,
it?
yes.
it does add a little bit of grandeur, if you will, to the front facade. It's the design of the building itself is, it's pretty brutal, to be honest,
Yes, it is.
and rightfully so.
Now,
It
this
is
built-
here to
when
show
was
some
this built?
authority.
When was this building built?
I don't know.
38, 39, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a prison, so this would soften that a little bit.
It may help soften that a little bit.
Yeah. What is that over the windows, the 2 windows?
That's existing as well. So you have a different kind of brick over the
looks like-
windows
Plywood.
that's turned in a vertical soldier style direction.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done anything to City Hall itself, other than we're proposing to do some lighting for, you know, kind of nighttime effect to brighten up the front entry a little.
And on that is where it says Durant, but you can't see it. I
Yes,
guess it's-
ma'am. So those are precast inserts. And we decided to put those in there to kind of go with some of the precast that's already on the building. Now, the Durant, Oklahoma is just a placeholder. So, I mean, you know, you may decide to put Odin Gruby on one side, I don't know.
I don't want to Ruby on my side. Thank you.
But those are.
I'll
those are-
pass on that
those-
one.
those
You'd
are
be
just-
blowed up tonight.
Right, those are just placeholders. So if you decided there was some civic quote that might be important to Durant, or, you know, something, the established date, whatever that may be, you know, you could put anything in those precast stones.
Okay. Any more questions? Do we want to vote on it tonight? If we do we have a motion?
I'd kind of like to think about it for a while, to be honest with you. I'm not ready to make a motion personally.
Would you like to make a motion that we table it till next month, or what do you want to say?
Would you like to see some different options?
Yeah, we're more than welcome to meet with any one of you guys on some feedback. This was our initial kind of jumping off point, you will.
Right.
So if there's comments, you're not gonna hurt our feelings at all. So if there's some things you'd like to change, or some things you'd like to see, you know, maybe the incorporation of the statue somewhere, any of those things, we're open to.
Okay. Mike, do you want to redo your motion or make a motion? Huh? Oh, that was a comment? Well, we need to say something.
I do, what's the proposed fate of the peanut? Is it gonna get to stay, or is it part of this? Anybody know?
I didn't do anything with the peanut.
I happen to like the peanut.
You do or don't? I think the peanut's far enough away that this wouldn't interfere. But do we have, anyone want to make a motion that we table this till next month and have a chance to study it a little more? Could we do that?
Do we need a motion? You just do it.
We'd need a motion to table it.
You could just take no action, Madam Mayor,
No action
No
would be,
action.
it'd be the end of it.
but it can be brought back.
Yeah, we can still bring it back.
You want to we can take no action?
That's fine.
Okay, and Shane, I guess if we want to, we can try to get with you individually.
Yeah, feel free, I mean, I think most of you have my information, so feel free to get with me anytime, or
Okay.
let John know, and we can set up a meeting here at City Hall with a few of you if we need to. Any of that's fine with us.
It looks great, I have to admit that, but just kind of whipping it on us this quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And
So-
like I said, this is our first stab, just kind of a jumping off point, so any feedback from here is welcome.
Okay, all right,
Appreciate your work.
thank you so much. Okay, 4B, discussion, consideration, and possible action on ordinance O-2021-29, a rezoning request from A1 General Agriculture to R3 General Residential for property located near Linden Woods Drive and Thomas Circle, PC 2021-29. Danielle.
Good evening. Yes, this is a rezoning request. This is the area that's going to be to the east of the current Linden Woods development. They've purchased about 37 acres there and is wanting to develop some more homes. They're still kind of ironing out the details of exactly what type of homes, but that's why they're asking for the R3. That way they could kind of finagle in some different types of homes that may be kind of a mixture of what's already there. Currently, there's single-family, duplex, and multifamily homes in the area. The surrounding zoning is mostly residential, but there is some commercial and industrial in the area. The land use map, whenever they applied, had it listed as medium residential. Obviously, we've adopted a new one, but we've used the one at the time of application, which is before the new one was adopted. The Planning Commission and city staff does recommend approval of the rezoning. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. A representative for the applicant's also here, if you have any questions for him as well.
Questions?
This is basically just an extension of Linden Woods already, correct?
Correct.
In that case, since you guys have recommended, I move we approve ordinance 0-2021-29 from A1 to R3.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Would the clerk please record the vote?
Okay, and Odin, how do you vote?
Aye. Motion carries. Oh, is there a vote not up there?
That was section 1.
That was section 1.
Motion carries.
I also move we do section 2, which is the emergency clause, perhaps.
Is there an emergency clause on these?
Second.
Okay. Do we have a motion for the emergency clause? We have a second? We have a motion and a second. Would the clerk please record the vote?
And Odin, your vote?
Aye. Motion passes. Number 4, under administration, 4C, discussion, consideration, and possible action on resolution 2021-024, designating Durant Regional Airport, Acre Field, as an Oklahoma National Guard training site for their air traffic control systems. Mr. James.
Mayor, council, thank you guys. I have Dr. Thomas Newsom with me from the university, and I wanted to go ahead. This is a result of a meeting that we had with some of our staff, and this organization of this meeting was started by Dr. Newsom. I'd like for him to kind of share what his vision is, and then we'll just kind of discuss it from there.
Thank you, James. Mayor, council members.
Dr. Newsom.
Thank y'all for letting me be here, and I apologize it has taken me so long to make an appearance at a city council meeting. It's been
Glad to have
a
you.
different kind of year, I guess. So I appreciate the time, and boy, this is an exciting time to be in Durant, Oklahoma. This agenda item is something that's been about a year and a half in the making. About a year and a half ago, the university, through our aviation department and our enrollment office, started having some meetings with the Oklahoma National Guard in order to establish a modified ROTC program at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. And that evolved into us now currently having an Oklahoma National Guard office on campus that helps our students take advantage of National Guard educational benefits. And part of that conversation, talking to the Guard, we realized that they have pretty extensive aviation operations, mostly with rotary aircraft, but some fixed-wing aircraft. And they have some programs where they do air traffic control training with temporary air traffic control systems that they take to different airports and airfields around the state of Oklahoma. And again, in that conversation, we realized that there was a need for more training with an airport that had some capacity, that had a number of traffic in terms of takeoffs and landings. And with our aviation department, aviation school, we do a lot of takeoffs and landings out there at Acre Field. So it just appeared to be a good fit to serve a purpose for some air traffic control training for the Oklahoma National Guard. and a good fit for Durant and Southeastern Oklahoma State University because it could increase our capacity to land and take off planes in a manner that's a lot more safe, a lot more efficient than what we use right now without air traffic control. I talked to a lot of our private pilots, a lot of our alumni who fly in and out of that field on occasion, and they discussed how this would be a good opportunity to increase the traffic at our airport. I think it's also an opportunity to increase some commercial traffic that will buy fuel, that will land on the field and maybe come into town and eat at our restaurants and shop at some of our stores. And I just think it's a good opportunity for us. So I want to thank James, and I want to thank City Manager John and Lisa Taylor and some of our folks at the airport who have been able to come to the table and have this discussion and then bring this opportunity to us. The vision is that we would help host the Oklahoma National Guard for these temporary ATC operations. They would bring portable equipment that they would house at the armory when not in use. They would mainly operate it on during a couple of days during the week and some weekends based on making sure that they got the amount of traffic they needed to be able to train their personnel. And that would allow us to build a database of possible need for ongoing or permanent air traffic control operations out at Eaker Field in the future. And I think that's a great opportunity for us as a city, a great opportunity for us as a region to really increase and be a catalyst for economic development, industrial development out at our airport. I truly believe that that is one of our untapped resources that we need to work together as a university, as a city, as a county, to take advantage of to increase the opportunity for development economically out at Eaker Field. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Any questions?
Also want you to know that our airport consultants were involved in this conversation. And just as Dr. Newsom had mentioned, according to them, they thought that would accelerate, improve the need for possibly a permanent air traffic control tower at our facility. So with them being our expert, them being our advisors, we wanted to bring that before you tonight. And you see a letter that we have sent to the commander at the Guard. And then also you'll see a resolution. If you would be so kind to adopt that, we'd appreciate that, and we'll start moving forward with it.
Well, one other thing I'd like to add, Mayor, council members, this also opens the door for the Guard to come out and do some significant other training operations at our airport, which would bring, and I don't want to speak on behalf of the Guard, but part of the conversation was that we have some capacity in the summer to house Guard members who are training at the university. So they could bring a large number of Guard members for a significant period of time in the summer that would be in our city training at Eaker Field, and would be, again, dining in our restaurants, buying gasoline, buying other commodities in our city that would help generate some tax dollars. So there is a potential here for this to be bigger than just air traffic control operations for our city.
It's a great idea. I also would like to thank you for your enthusiasm, and you've just jumped right in to help the city on everything, which I think is wonderful. The Southeastern's been a wonderful partner under your leadership.
Thank you. Like I said, it's a great time to be in Durant, Oklahoma.
Yes, it is.
I feel like we have some fantastic partnerships and collaboration that's going to make our city a better place to be today, tomorrow, and in the future.
Any discussion?
Make a motion that we approve resolution 2021-024.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Would the clerk please record the vote?
Mayor Groby,
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank y'all both. And James, you've been doing a good job too. I didn't mean to slight you. Okay, number 4D, discussion, consideration, and possible action for resolution R 2021-23 related to the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA funding, authorizing the acceptance of the funds, the appropriate budget amendments, and the execution of all necessary documents to be received for the award in the amount of $3,261,338.77. Did I get that all right?
Yes, ma'am. Hello, good evening,
Hi,
Mayor and
Becca.
council members. Speaking of being a great day in Durant, or a great time, it is, with this new announcement. We have received our notification that this is the amount of the allocation that the city will receive. There's still some unknowns with this going on, how it's going, how much money we're going to receive at one time and such as that. But this resolution is a template that was sent as a requirement for us to move forward with it. Matter of fact, before I came in here tonight, I've received my email getting us all set up to start the application. So this is very different than most of our other grants where we're getting the funding notification before we actually even submit the application. But this will also authorize the mayor to be able to sign any documents that will be required so that we're not having to bring it back to council, so we can expedite the process.
Is there any discussion? Any questions for Ms. Becca? Call for a motion.
I move we approve Resolution R-2021-23 related to the American Rescue Plan Act.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Would the clerk please record the vote?
Mayor Groby?
Aye. Motion carries. Number 4E, discussion, consideration, and possible action for change order number 1 in the amount of $5,395 related to COVID-19, increased materials cost for EDA 08-01-05284 construction contract to Win Construction for the wastewater treatment plant improvements. Ms. Becker again.
Yes, thank you. Yes, even though this is a small amount of a change order, I thought that we should bring it before you so that you can receive the information on the project as it's almost completed, I believe. And Brandon's here too, if the council would like for maybe an update on the wastewater treatment plant. You able to do that, Brandon? Would it be okay for him to
Sure.
speak on that?
We're glad to see you, Brandon. It's been a while.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is the portion of the project dealing with the belt filter press, the sludge press. It is complete, other than just a few minor punch list items. This change order is related to materials costs for COVID-related materials increases. It's materials costs between the time the project was bid and the time that we awarded the project. It's about a $1.8 million project, so the increase in COVID-related materials wasn't substantial, but it is something that is due the contractor, and we recommend approval. They actually submitted this to the first of the project, and we said, since it's so small, let's put it on the first change order, and there wasn't any change orders. They just finished the job for the price bid. So we're coming back at the end of the project now with this change order, and the project is complete. If anybody wants to see the belt press, it's operational. They're pressing sludge. Making brownies.
Making laws is kind of the same thing.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Brandon? Any further discussion? Call for the vote. call for the motion. Thank you, Brandon.
Make a motion to approve change order number 1 in the amount of $5,395 related to COVID-19 increased materials for EDA 08-01-05284 construction contract to Win Construction.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Would the clerk please record the vote?
Mayor Groby,
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Becca. Okay, 4E, I think I just did that one. Number 5, is there any new business? If there's no business, new business, do we have a motion for adjournment?
Make the motion to adjourn.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Would the clerk please record the vote?
You ain't kidding. Was it always fighter jets at race? No, this was just a regular jet. This was just a
can you all put your votes in, please? They're not popping up.
They don't want to adjourn.
I don't have any. Okay. What? Where? This? Oh, okay. Councilmember Brittingham?
Aye.
Councilmember Miller?
Aye.
Councilmember Morris?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Shear?
Aye.
Mayor Groby?
Aye, we are now adjourned from the city council meeting.
Hey, just one moment, please.
Pardon?
One moment, and
Oh,
I'll
okay.
get
Then-
into our new meeting.
Don't everybody leave, we're not finished yet. Almost.
Oh, I don't know what it's doing. Oh, okay. I'm going over to utilities now. Okay.
Okay. It is now 6:43, and the Durant City Utility Authority for October 12th is now in session. It's now called to order. Would we please have the roll call?
Trustee Brittingham?
Here.
Trustee Miller?
Here.
Trustee Morris?
Here.
Vice Chairman Shear?
Here.
Chairman Groby?
Here. Looks like nobody left. Okay, we have one item under consent items, and that is number A, consider approval of regular meeting minutes of September 4th, 2021. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve consent item.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Would the secretary please record the vote?
Your vote?
Aye. Yes. Okay, we have number 2, consent items removed, information items. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask on any of the information items? Under administration, we have nothing. Under 5, new business, any new business? If not, call for adjournment from the City Utility Authority.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second. Would the secretary please record the vote?
Mayor Ruby?
Yes. We are now adjourned. You want me to wait?
Just one moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, Cindy.
No, that's okay, no problem. Okay.
It is now 6:48 and the Durant Airport Authority is now in session. Could we have the roll call, please?
Trustee Brittingham?
Here.
Trustee Miller?
Here.
Trustee Morris?
Here.
Vice Chairman Shear?
Here.
Chairman Groby?
Here. Number 1, under order of business, consent items. The only thing under there, 1A, consider approval of regular minutes of September 14, 2021. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve consent item.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Would the secretary please record the vote?
Mayor Groby, or Chairman Groby, I'm sorry.
Aye. Motion passes. Under information items, we have an airport manager's report. I don't know if anybody wants to hear it. James, you want to give that, or?
Well, thank you all. Mayor, you should have a copy of that in your packet. As you can see, fuel sales are continuing to be good. We had a lot of commercial traffic coming through with a lot of the growth that's going on. We're seeing different commercial aircraft flying in, dropping people off. Also, with the concerts and all that have begun again at Choctaw, we're seeing some of those come in as well. So airport's a busy place. As you can see, they've been also working on doing some hangar maintenance out there. Some of these hangars are fairly old. And so with moving parts, I don't care what it is, you're gonna have to do maintenance on them. So they're having to do doors and weather stripping and things like that on a lot of these hangars as well. Lights, those sort of things. Over time, they just need to be replaced, and we're trying to upgrade a lot of that. When we do have to replace lights, we're going back with LEDs so that the fuel consumption or the energy consumption is a lot less. So other than that, is there any questions you have from John's report?
I have a quick one on the candy bomber thing on
Yes,
Halloween.
sir.
Where are they gonna drop those? I'd like to be there.
When?
Where?
Where? Okay.
And when?
They're going to drop them over the taxiway area in the infield, going back toward where the apron is the plan to do that. So that's coming together fairly well. We've had some interest from some local people to help make the parachutes, and also we had a local merchant supply candy, so that's moving right along. So we're trying to get all the details worked out, and that's not very far away. So
Mr. Wyatt told me they have a really cool antique bomber gonna be doing the dropping, so it
that
should be
is
exciting.
that is correct. That is correct.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. James? Under administration, number 4A, discussion, consideration, and possible action on a commercial lease agreement between the Durant Airport Authority and Air Evac EMS, Inc. Mr. James.
Thank you, Mayor, again. As you well know, the city uses Air Evac for medical helicopters in and out quite a bit. Currently, the closest medical helicopters are stationed at Texoma Medical Center south of us, at Ardmore to our west, and to the east over around Hugo, and then they have a fixed wing at Broken Bow just temporarily. We have been approached, and we actually have approached them as well about establishing a base at our airport. This lease would do that, to where we will have a helicopter based out of Durant. We think that's a real positive for our citizens. That helicopter will be able to be off the ground and en route and to its scene quite a bit quicker than flying from one of those other sites. We had looked at this many years back, and the timing wasn't right on it, but I think it is now. We want to bring that to you. We also will be able to generate some revenue. We will lease a portion of our terminal building for them to use on the far south end, and then we'll also lease them a hangar, so we'll be generating over $2,000 a month in income from them, not counting the fuel going in the aircraft. So we think it's a good move for us and a good move for them as well.
Any discussion or any questions for James? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the commercial lease agreement between the Durant Airport Authority and Air Evac EMS Incorporated.
We have a second. We have a second. We have a motion and a second. Will the secretary please record the vote?
Mayor Groby,
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Okay, next item, new business. If there's no new business, do we have a motion for adjournment from the Airport Authority?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Would the secretary please record the vote?
Chairman Groby,
Aye. Motion carries. Naturally, everybody likes adjournment. We have one more. We are now adjourned from the Airport Authority, and it is 6, I'm sorry, Cindy. I'm faster than Cindy on this, but she's got more to do. You ready? Okay, it is now 6:50, and the Durant Development Authority is now called to order. Could we have the roll call?
Trustee Brittingham,
Here.
Trustee Miller,
Here.
Trustee Morris,
Here.
Vice Chairman Shear,
Here.
Chairman Groby.
Here. We're all here, so this is the last one, I think. Okay, under number 1, consent items. We have number A, consider approval of regular call minutes of July 13th, 2021. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve consent item.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Would the secretary please record the vote?
Trustee Brittingham,
Aye.
Trustee Miller,
Aye.
Trustee Morris,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Shear,
Aye.
Chairman Groby.
Aye, motion carries. There's nothing under administration. Is there any new business? Number 4. If not, do we have a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Would the secretary please record the vote?
Trustee Brittingham,
Aye.
Trustee Miller,
Aye.
Trustee Morris,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Shear,
Aye.
Chairman Groby.
Aye, we are now adjourned. I love hitting that. I really do.